Hello everybody, so today I'll be doing a video just to open this Matchbox 5-pack that actually I found very recently. So this is the European Motorway 5-pack. So these are all licensed castings, and that's why I'm very excited to open this and see the castings and how good they are in terms of the details, in terms of how realistic they are. Really excited. There are some really cool cars over here, the Bugatti with the Porsche, the Lotus. It's just really cool. And yeah, without further ado, let's just open up the 5-pack and we will go through the cars one by one. So here we go. So now that I've got the 5-pack open, so this is the first car in the 5-pack, and this is the Lotus Europa Special. So 1972 Lotus Europa. So this is a pretty cool casting, as you can see. The copyright date is 2008, so it was released in 2009. It's designed by Ryu Asada, and yeah, it's a pretty cool casting. I think the details wise was not it's not super detailed, and I think there's some flaws to the paint over here. I mean, it's a extremely old casting, right? So yeah, in terms of the details, you can see that the hood, they did put the gold trim, which looks pretty cool. No headlights, right? But the logo for the Lotus it's pretty clear, pretty nicely done. Right, the sides, it's really simple again with the simple gold trim, so that's okay. The wheels are very classic wheels, and the back as well, there's not much details, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, again, they basically just spent the money doing the gold trim on the sides and the hood. So I think this is probably one of the weaker cars in this 5-pack, if you ask me. I mean, it's a decent car, but it just does not have the details that I typically like in my diecast cars. So yeah, I mean, this is the 1972 Lotus Europa. And let's move on to the next car, which is more exciting. So the next car is actually the 2023 BMW M2. So if you just look at the bottom, right, so it's a copyright date 2024, released in 2025. So this 5-pack, if I'm not wrong, is actually released in 2026. So it's a very new 5-pack. I love the gold wheels. I have a weakness for gold wheels, and I think it goes really well with the metallic blue of the BMW itself. Let's look at the details in terms of the front. The headlights are nice. The graphical representation is cool. The grills are flat, which I'm not sure if let me just I think the actual car, it's actually there are actually some horizontal parts in the grill, so this flat grill is not totally accurate. And I think there's just some bit of text, but it's very small, so they definitely didn't do it clearly. And yeah, overall I think it's pretty good. I think I would give it a 7 or 8 out of 10 for the front. I think the grille details, the texture, if they would have done that in, then it would have been much better. But overall it's still pretty good casting in terms of the details. The back is really nicely done. Right, so this is awesome. I really like the details, how they did it for the back. So that's cool. Very clear logos for the BMW, and yeah, I think overall this particular casting is definitely very nice, right? It's just a very cool casting. So yep, let's move on to the next car, which is the Bugatti Divo 2018. Right, so it's a copyrighted date is 2019, so it was released in 2020. Designer is Abe Lugo. Now again, I love the wheels. These wheels are what I really like. Now the Bugatti Divo, it's a super cool car. Now I like the way that it did the blue interior, which extends out to the sides. I think the front is actually painted blue instead of being part of the interior, which is pretty awesome actually. I like the way that it did it. It's very smart. But overall, I think this is an extremely cool car. I love Bugatti, and the front, it's missing the headlights, right? Obviously, it's white, and the headlights are white as well, so it would have been a bit difficult, I guess. The grille details are nice, are nicely done. In the plastic, it's missing the Bugatti logo, but that's fine. The side vents is done nicely in blue interior. It's a nice matte paint, and overall, I think this is an extremely cool car. The spoiler. Now there's no space between the spoiler and the body, which is which is a complaint that you can have, but I think overall it's still a pretty cool car. And with the tail lights, the Devo, the tail lights being done, it's really cool. I love the rear of this car. That just looks awesome. So overall, really like this Bugatti Divo. I think this is one of the stars of this 5-pack. Yeah, it's really cool. So that's the Bugatti Divo, and there's 2 remaining cars. I'll go to the last one first, which is the 2011 Mini Countryman. So this one, there's it has a police livery, which is fine, I guess. So yeah, this is the Mini Cooper Countryman 2011. Copyright is 2018, released in 2019. Now the scale is a bit bigger than 164, maybe slightly. Again, the wheels are the same. I like the wheels. It's the same as the Devo and the BMW wheels. So it's cool. It's German police. I doubt that yes, the German police use Mini Cooper as a police car, but the details wise, how it was done, it's actually really nice. The grills, the logo, the headlights, the police at the front, really cool. The top has a different texture for some of the parts, even though it's an entire plastic piece. I think it adds a little bit of an interest to the top. The side temples are very clear, very nicely done. A shame that the back there's nothing, so it's just they did the sides for the tail lights. But yeah, I think overall this is a decent casting. I think probably one of the you get the 5-pack for the rest of the cars and not really for the Countryman and all the Europa, right? So the last car, which I think is one of the most popular, is definitely the Porsche 911 Targa. Now this Porsche in this grey, shimmery grey color, it just looks really beautiful. So this one, the Porsche Targa, It's actually a new casting, or relatively new casting. Yeah, 2023 copyright date. Designer is Gary Kopinoff. Yeah, so a really cool casting. You just look at the way that Matchbox has done this. You know, the logo, it's very clear. Headlights are pretty decently done as well. I like the wheels. These are quite standard Matchbox wheels. The top is done completely in plastics, which is too bad, but overall I think it works. The back details are just amazingly done. Right, as you can see, the Targa and the license plate, the Porsche. So the words here, I think it's 911 Targa, if I'm not wrong. But I love the way that they did the tail lights. You know, it's just amazing, and the rear vent as well is done extremely detailed, very nice. I think this is definitely a hit. And you know, most people will get the 5-pack just for this 911 Targa. I think it's just really beautiful. So you know, that's it for the 5-pack. I think if I were to choose favorites, I think the 911 Targa is definitely number 1. Right, number 2, I actually wouldn't go for the BMW. You know, I just like BMWs in general, and it's a very clean casting, the way that it's done, followed by the Bugatti, and then the Mini Cooper, and lastly, you know, the oldest casting, which is the Europa, which I think just lacks some detail. So that's the order that I would have it for this 5-pack. Thanks for watching, and you know, let me know what you guys think, which one is your favorite, you know, whether you like this 5-pack. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.